Alright, Miles, I'm going to take another crack at this. We've had a week's worth of rain, a lot of dirty horses. This is Clyde. 17-3 Clydesdale Dutch Harness Cross. Got the tree on him. Still don't have a holder, but we'll make a go of it. Stop. So, one thing I hope you can kind of see in there is get this tree back where it needs to be, and get your head up. Let's kind of look in here, because if I put my fingers in here and down, and this has to be there. One thing about this tree is it's sort of naturally, the tree just naturally wants to be here. Which pushes it right up against his scapula. So I'd say it's about kind of ½ an inch in terms of its sort of, spoon to spoon. Get back here a little bit more and it doesn't want to be in the right place, but when you come up here it just goes right into the scapula. So the next sort of observable thing about this tree is obviously wither clearance. So you can see it's, and I know that we're not looking for the full wither clearance because there's going to be pads and stuff on here, but you can kind of see hopefully that that's given about ½ an inch at this point. And right now his head's sort of halfway between up and level. If I kind of bring it down a little bit, I get a little bit more. Now he's level-headed, but he's very mobile with his head up and down. He's going to need a lot of clearance on that. So for doing this, I'm going to be scooching this tree right up against the scapula, which I don't think we want it that tight because of course the skirt's going to come out too. And the further front this goes, obviously the more it crowds his withers. Stand. So the next thing really about this saddle is I'm gonna try to mark where, I'll measure this later, but I get to this top line of the bar, and if I mark him right here, and we move that, we can see that, so this space right here to the bottom of the bar is maybe 3 inches. This tells me that the top of the bar, if it were touching him, which it's not, at least here, I think it is back here, is riding on the spine. So this right here has, almost no muscle, all vertebra spine. So the weight-bearing surface is down here. Hey Bree, you wouldn't be up for holding him for like 5 minutes while I kind of do a narrative on this tree fit?
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. Thank you. All right. All right. So this back in place, One of the things you'll kind of notice is there's a lot of flare here and not really any contact for really all the way to, I would say, the bottom of the cantle is where it's going to make contact with weight in it. So the twist is maybe, I would say in this case, a little bit too, actually it's the rock that's not, that's a little bit too aggressive. Next thing I'm checking for is how much of the bar down here I can touch and feel that it's not getting contact with the horse. And right here in the stirrup leathers, I know we're going to get leathers to compensate, or the stirrup indentations, we're going to get leathers to compensate for that, but I don't think we're going to get, you know, that much compensation. And if I go behind there, get a smaller finger in there, I'm getting zero contact until right about down here. So bar angle on this is too narrow, and as a result, all the way along up until about here, we're getting no contact. Then the twist takes over and a whole different set of issues comes into play. So to summarize, this thing is riding really high right up here. Needs to be down here from everything I know, but we can talk about that. Needs to be down here. It's riding up here. I say on a horse this size, we could use with more width in the center of the kidney bean formation than we're getting here. This is probably good for a quarter horse, but not for a draft. And then get that back up there. And okay, the next thing to kind of point out is this right here. Hopefully the camera's showing this, but what's happening here is it is actually riding on the spine. That is the absolute game-changing, never going to happen on this tree. So that a completely, I would actually say a completely different approach to tree design needs to be taken for a horse like this, where you need to get the bars down further and avoid the spinal canal. And it's not like he's got an overly prominent spine, it's just the way his breed is developed. But that is very, 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 very bad. And he does have a popped end cap on one of his vertebrae. Happens to be one of the ones up here that probably wasn't going to get impacted, but it's something I deal with blanketing. You don't have to worry about it with the tree, but this would, you know, cause more injuries like that to occur. So I think that the actual bar angle back here, meaning the twist, is pretty good, but the rock has taken too much of the support out of the back. Even though I do like the flare, I like to get it up here, but not for the amount of distance that we're covering here. So, wants to ride on the shoulder blades to get in place. Wither height, not enough. Bar support, it's bridging on the perpendicular axis. We're only getting partial support. The bars too far up, need to be brought down. Spinal canal, I just leave this open and use more of a suspense mechanism rather than this fiberglass treatment. And then the rock is too aggressive, resulting in, we'd actually see more bounce here if it wasn't digging in there so much. So That's my take on this tree.